in all its glory. And soon I'm going to be one of the first riders. What's up guys, I'm the East Coaster fan. Behind me is Iron Menace, and in just a few moments, I'm gonna be riding it for the very first time. So I'm actually a pass holder for Dorney, and I renew my pass around August or September, sometime around then. And because of that, I get access to this exclusive event where we get to ride it before opening day. Now, Media Day did happen earlier this week, but still, we're one of the first few riders to get on this thing. So I'm gonna get on Iron Menace and showcase my opinion. And also there'll be a few other things open as well, such as Steel Force, Empty Buckets, which is the retheme of their flyers, and much more. So join me as we go inside Dorney Park and have some fun. Iron Menace, once again, driving into this park does really make an impact. I love that you drive right by the tilted loop and just driving past all those elements. I mean, it was cool driving past Possess before, but I think Iron Menace is even better. I also want to add that I'm actually here for the earliest time slot, so you could come here starting as early as 9, and I'm here around 8:30, and there's already a few people here. I don't know why they started off with 9 o'clock. This is easily the earliest I've ever been here at Dorney, but I want to get on it as soon as possible. It is now 8:37, and it looks like we're going to be entering the park. Really excited to see everything now in person. There's this really interesting bag policy they have. It's actually similar to what they have at Haunt. So if you're coming to any of the future pass holder previews, then be sure to follow these rules. And then along this path going in, they have these cool banners along the side with Iron Menace and the McTavish symbol. I also love this really cool themed building over here. Not sure if this will be part of the Zephyr train ride in the future or not. So I know at East Coast they're talking about potentially adding a second gate down here. So I'm not sure if this is just for this event or this could be a temporary thing that's gonna be throughout the entire season. And they seem to be letting people in, so I'll probably be in like about 3 minutes or so. They had this cool photo op right when we entered, sort of by Alfie's house, but now we're gonna be entering the Steel Yard, which is the name for the rethemed area. So just note for this event, we're only allowed one ride on Iron Menace, and I knew that coming in, so that's what I'm expecting. However, with the other rides like Steel Force and a few other attractions, I think we could get as many rides as we want, so that's at least good. If you're interested in the story behind Iron Menace, there's this billboard thing right here, right as you enter the land, that explains the entire story, so you can pause and read this if you're interested. I really love the theme music here. This is something I'm really not used to when it comes to Dorney Park. In fact, all this theming is just fantastic. But I did want to point out here where these tables are, this is actually where Monster used to be, which isn't coming back this season. But it will be seating for the Iron Mill restaurant that's right there, replacing Dorney Grill. The other thing, at least for this event, you see that tent over there, that's actually where you pick up your ticket for your single Iron Menace ride. But right before I enter that line, I do also want to point out this awesome new sign for Possess. This is really cool. It fits the area now and it looks great, honestly. Here you have like a mini gift shop area, but the real gift shop is here in Steel Yard Gifts. This is where you're going to find all your merchandise for Iron Menace, as well as I'm sure there's other coaster merch in there as well. Got my ticket, which is right here. So since I chose the 9 a.m. slot, I have an hour to use this, so 9 to 10. But that's all right because I'm literally going to be heading there right away, so no big deal there. But I also wanted to point out this area. This actually used to be possessions and a few other things. Now it's this great area for seating. Here's the amazing Iron Menace sign, positioned very well right by the first drop. If there's one thing Dorney knows how to do well, it's their entrance signs for coasters. I love all of them in this park, and this one's no different. The only thing, if I had to improve on it, is you see how in the Iron Menace logo they have that like background? I wish the sign here had that as well, but that's a nitpick. Otherwise it looks great. I think the best thing Dorney did is that they extended this pathway out left of the sign, so you can actually come right here and just stand right next to this first drop and see the train just whiz by. Look at this bit of theming right here, right at the bottom of the first drop. You got these bricks all spread out, and I don't know what's there, but it's like almost magma lava or some sort. That's really cool. I hope it lights up at night. That would also be a really cool lighting effect if they did that. Here's the amazing entrance for this attraction. Like I said before, the theming's out of this world for Iron Menace, and if this doesn't show it, I don't know what will. Over here, Ghost in the Machine is pretty much unchanged, which, to be honest, that doesn't need any changing at all. This maze was awesome last Halloween, but the bathrooms did receive an update. Right next to Iron Menace is the re-themed empty buckets. This is something I did show off during my tour in February, but this is what it looks like all finished, and also looks great. I've actually never ridden it as Cedar Creek Flyers, so maybe I'll ride it as empty buckets. Now time to enter the queue for Iron Menace. So as I walk through here, I'll just show off all this amazing detail. You got the fast wait only line right here. You have all these handrails, just all rusted looking. And you got this wall over here with a bunch of punch cards and a bunch of theming. This is insane for Dorney Park, this amount of theming, like I mentioned before. I'm not gonna go too far down this way, but there is this extended queue over here and a few other bits of theming, but this is mainly where the corkscrew can be found. And I know a lot of people are talking about it on the internet, but this turn right here has this kink. I'm not sure how it's gonna feel, but I'll let you know once I'm off the ride. Needless to say, it is funny looking when people are shaking over there. I will say, while I'm over here and getting footage of the coaster, it is taking a while between cycles. Not sure if that'll be a problem persistent through the season, or maybe it's just an opening type of thing, but keep that in mind. It might be a problem. All right, I'm going up the stairs. I am really excited for this. Iron Menace. There it goes right now. So I just got my one ride on Iron Menace. Unfortunately, the only ride I'm gonna get today, but that's okay. It just gives me more reason to come back to Dorney Park later on in the season and just lap this thing. But what are my thoughts of this ride? So I sat in the front all the way to the right. So I was on the edge, but I love edges on dive coasters. It's a blast. So sitting in the front, I did get the full effect of that first drop, and that first drop was fantastic. It was so good. Going up that lift hill, they actually play like themed audio, similar to the music that they're playing in the entirety of the Steel Yard. And then once you're over that edge, great view of Dorney Park and all the coasters. It's fantastic up there. I love the 95 degrees. You definitely felt that difference. And then the rest of the ride was good. I'd say a little shaky, and I know there's that meme jolt. You don't really feel any pain going through it. You just shake a bit from left to right. And I feel like that's what you see in a lot of the videos. That's all you really feel, just a shake. But the 0G roll up there was really fun. Loved the hang time, and you felt a bit of weightlessness going through it as well. Very fun. The tilted loop was also a really good element to have, and so was the corkscrew. So a fun ride. It is a short one, but it's a dive coaster. You go in expecting that it's going to be a short ride, but I call it a win for Dorney Park. I really liked it. I do want to talk about these trains, which I found interesting. You can see there that the only part of the floor that retracts is the middle. The outsides, which is where I was sitting, the floor is stationary. So that's a design change from what I'm aware of on the other dive coasters I've done, like Valraven, Griffin, and Chikra. You can also see right here this like gravel path. This is actually where the track of the Zephyr path is going to go. So it's going to be heading right underneath the transfer track and maintenance area, or on the back of Iron Menace where like the corkscrew and tilted loop are. Now that I'm done, I do want to get on the other coasters that are open. So I'm going to start off with Possessed, because I love Possessed and it's a blast to always get on this attraction. Possessed was fun. I love the view now you get of Iron Menace as you go up. And you know how I'm trying to get like a Zumanjaro Kingdom Ka duel? I want to try to get a Possessed and Iron Menace duel one of these days. That's going to be a hard one to get, but it would be so freaking cool. Heading now to ride a classic, and that is Thunderhawk, which is celebrating its 100th birthday this year. Yes, this ride is older than the Cyclone. I think this ride's alright, but obviously for its 100th anniversary, I want to give credit where credit is due. And Dorney Park also did a really good job with its anniversary themes. They have a new sign, I think there's a new decal on the train, and they even have this time on here of the history of Thunderhawk. I'm not sure how many of you can notice from where I'm standing, but it looks to me that Steel Force has stopped on the lift for some reason. Hopefully that gets fixed because I want to ride it today. So sort of a funny experience I had there on Thunderhawk. So I went on twice. The first ride, I was in the front row and I got a Zen ride, which is really neat. And it actually ran really well. I was surprised. They either did a lot of retracking or it's just something I haven't really noticed. Then I did a ride in the back towards the middle of the car. But I think I preferred my front row ride. Honestly, the front gives you such good pops of airtime. On the way up going to the second turnaround, as well as on the return course, you get good pops. So I'm happy to say for its 100th birthday, this ride's running really well this season. I think my goal for today is to knock out every ride that's open today, including Scrambler, which I've never done before in this park. I've done the one in Hershey, Busch Gardens, but never this one. So gotta see how it compares to the other Scramblers I've been on. As well as Road Rally, which I have done before, but haven't done in a really long time. Well, here's a drive-by view of Iron Menace. But don't worry, Steel Force is only 2-something away. I don't know the unit at all. So I did unfortunately fail my road test riding Road Rally, but that's okay because I'm stuck here and I get to ride Steel Force now. Now, Dorney Park did make upgrades to Steel Force's controls this year, so I'll have to see how that is. But it looks to me that they're rolling trains, which might seem easy with just 2 trains on Steel Force. However, Dorney is known for stacking on this ride, so far that's pretty good in my opinion. But I'm really eager to try out Steel Force for the 2024 season. And look at that, no one's in the station at all. Well, I just finished my front row ride and we're stuck here. Normally I don't even bring my phone on rides, but since we weren't allowed to bring in bags, I have everything in zipper pockets. So there you go, a rare view of me stuck on the brake run of Steel Force. Well, we didn't get evac, but you can see the train is now parked on the lift, so not sure what the status of that's gonna be. I was gonna try to aim for more than 2 rides on Steel Force, but we'll see now. I think I'm just gonna focus on the other 2 flats that I still need to ride, and if it's open again, maybe I'll do it again later. But Steel Force was still running pretty good, I'd say. But talk about the 2 other flats. One is right here, Revolution, which I rarely ever ride, and then I'm gonna head over to Empty Buckets. Finished my ride on both, oh, there it is, Empty Buckets and then Revolution, which is over there. First I'm going to start with Empty Buckets. which I just got off of. Obviously it's a fun ride type, but I feel like the ride time needs to be a bit longer and it needs to go a little faster. Obviously the prime example of this is Knoebels. They have the best flyers around, but I feel like if they just did those two things, this ride would be just so much better. But Revolution, I was actually sat in the right seat for that. I was facing towards Iron Menace. And if you do that, you're actually facing down all the time on that ride. So definitely recommend that if you want to do a ride on Revolution. Decided to get something from the Iron Mill place, and that is pierogies. Very interesting food item to get here. Normally, the food here is just average amusement park food, but this is kind of a unique offering, especially for this park. And even though they had tables down by Iron Mill, I decided to trek all the way down here, just so I could be next to Possessed and Iron Menace, and also experience this new relaxation area over here. So, gonna try the pierogies and let you know how they are. Okay, I'm not lying. Those were really good. If you come here to Dorney, I recommend you have that. It's like a perfect lunch in my opinion. Here's if you're inside the gift shop there at the entrance. There's actually the park president right there. I was talking with her a bit, saying how great this area is. But I wanted to showcase some of the merch in here. You got a bunch of coaster shirts, so it's not just Iron Menace, although Iron Menace is definitely prevalent right there. You got a bunch of Meet to Thrill posters right here that look nice. Bunch of merch. Great looking gift shop though. So with that being said, I'm just gonna wander around for a bit more and then head out because I've pretty much done everything here now. Well, I'm now officially out of the park, but I did actually manage to get a ride on the whip, which I didn't know was open, but it was. And with that, my day here at Dorney is done. I was really happy to get on Iron Menace. I think it's a fun ride, and I want to come back here to get on it more because just one ride, you can only make so much of an opinion, so I want to get back on it multiple times and then have a real valid opinion of the ride. So even though this is the end of this video, it's actually not the end of my amusement park day, since I'm gonna be driving all the way to Hershey. Feel free to watch that video when it's out later. But other than that, thank you all so much for watching this video, and be sure to come out here and ride Iron Menace. There we go.